One perk of becoming Chinese is that you get to make a New Year resolution at least twice. One for the Gregorian New Year and one for the Spring Festival. And for Chinese consumers, there's more. Not only does the Year of Horse feature a 9-day holiday, but also there's a series of subsidy available, including the good old trade-in already available since January 1st. Just as 2026 began, China allocated the first batch of ultra-long-term special treasury bonds totaling 62.5 billion yuan, roughly $7 billion to local governments to fund the consumer goods trading. An old car for a new energy vehicle could qualify for up to 15,000 yuan. Purchasing a new smartphone could get a 50% discount based on the retail price, of course. A colleague of mine just got a brand new Huawei Mate 80 with 500 discounts plus the trading subsidy. He saves 1,000 yuan on one phone alone. And this is far more than a simple New Year promotion. It actually aligns with the key theme of China's economy in 2026: consumption. China's economy is shifting towards expanding domestic demand to fuel growth. The 15th five-year plan for the upcoming years has set a significant rate increase in the household consumption as a socio-economic development goal. At the Central Economic Work Conference held late last year, domestic demand expansion was also placed as a very top priority for 2026. So, what truly drives economic growth? Well, economists often compare investment, exports, and consumption to the three engines propelling economy. And within consumption, the largest contributor is household consumption, essentially what you, I, and everyone else spend on a daily necessity of food, clothing, transportation, and whatever generally spend on boba tea, pets, art toys, and esports. Over the decades following reform and opening up, export and investment made significant contribution to China's economic miracle. Meanwhile, consumption's role in driving growth has gradually become more prominent. Last year, final consumption expenditure contributed 52% to economic growth, rising by 5 percentage points from the previous year. But of course, compared to Europe and the United States, there remains a lot of upsides. Let's briefly compare the figures. Okay, so according to World Bank, China's final consumption expenditure in GDP fluctuated around 39% during the 2020 to 2024 period. In contrast, the European Union maintained a rate approximately 51%, while the United States reached about 68% in 2024. To unlock the potential, China launched the large-scale equipment renewal and trading for old consumer goods in 2024. The central government directly allocated 150 billion yuan in ultra-long-term special treasury bonds to the initiative, focusing primarily on items like automobiles and home appliances. It generated nearly 1.3 trillion yuan in sales. By 2025, the treasury bonds just doubled to 300, covering a broader range of digital products such as smartphones, tablets, and even smart wristbands. Nationwide sales from this program also doubled, exceeding 2.6 trillion. It is very evident to everybody that subsidizing commodities like cars and faster iterating digital products generates significant momentum for stimulating the market. Therefore, in the 2026 financial initiative to support key consumption sectors, goods still remain the top priority. To have a firm hand on growth, we should stimulate domestic demand. And we must address the imbalance in the very structure of consumption. As a society grows more affluent, spending patterns should naturally tilt towards services. China currently has a population of over 1.4 billion, with a middle-income group projected to exceed 100 million in the next decade or so. In 2024, service consumption, including education, healthcare, elderly care, and cultural tourism, accounted for 46% of China's household spending. By comparison, the very same indicator stood at 68% in the United States, 57.8% in France, and 57.7% in Japan the same year. China's consumers' demand for services is indeed growing rather rapidly. In 2025, the annual growth rate of service sector surpassed that of goods. Take our Chongqing as a case today. Dabbling as a trendy destination and a megacity with a massive population, it is working on both supply and demand sides of consumption growth. As the city pulls in stimulus and support for the service sector, Chongqing topped nationally with the highest total retail sales of consumer goods in 2025, at about 1.67 trillion yuan, surpassing even Shanghai. Into 2026, during the three-day New Year holiday, the total consumption citywide grew by a quarter, with service retail grew by 35%. Tourists come to Chongqing for the drone and the light shows. Rooms with riverside view were fully booked a month prior to the New Year Eve. At the same time, the municipality aims to increase the proportion of service retail in the city's total retail to over 40% by 2027. This involves the visions of becoming an international culinary capital, a world-renowned hot spring destination, and creating a global hub for urban leisure. These objectives do align with the national policy to increase the supply of service consumption. For instance, in 2025, China's central bank set up the relending facility to support service consumption and especially elderly care, channeling some 500 billion yuan into scenarios such as scenic area upgrades, hotel amenities, and care homes. As an example, if you are a senior citizen living in Chongqing and you need assistance on a daily basis, you can enjoy some up to 40% of subsidies for the care services that you have to pay for. With this boost for goods and the push for services, looking ahead to the Year of Horse in 2026, Chongqing is poised to witness a thriving market. I hereby wish you a very happy new year.